A single kit consists of an access point controller, an access point, and a LiFi dongle. All connections to the access point controller require standard Ethernet cabling. The first connection in this video is the synchronization or sync port. Note the space between the sync port and our next port, the access point ports. There are 6 plug-and-play access point ports. On the other side of our access point ports is another space and our second sync port. On the opposite side is the PoE port. At the other end of this cable is an IEEE device, providing both power and data connectivity. The first step is to plug the Ethernet cable from the PoE switch into the AP controller. After negotiating power between the two devices, the yellow LED should illuminate, indicating that power is being provided by the PoE switch and the AP controller is now booting up. The green LED indicates the AP controller is fully booted and is now communicating with the PoE switch. Once the AP controller has booted up, simply take one of your Ethernet cables, plug one end into the Photonic Antenna, and the other end into an antenna port on the AP controller. To build one contiguous LiFi network, interconnect 2 or more AP controllers via the sync ports. Place an Ethernet cable into an available sync port on one AP controller, then plug the other end of the Ethernet cable into a sync port on the other controller. You'll need to designate one of these as the master, and we'll show you how to do that a little later in the video. Here's an example of an access point and an AP controller installed on a drop ceiling. Using an available USB-C port on your computer, plug in the dongle. Once plugged in, any Windows 10 or later computer will automatically recognize the dongle. Though not required, for this video, we have enabled airplane mode to disable Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. That way, LiFi is the only wireless connection to this computer. The next step is to open your favorite browser and type in the IP address provided in your installation documentation. Typing in this address will take you to the AP controller login screen. The default username is admin, all lowercase, and the default password is password, all lowercase. Logging in should take you to this screen, the dashboard. Clicking on the 3 lines in the top left corner will bring up a list of submenus. The access point list submenu will give you a list of all AP controllers within your domain. At the far right of this screen, you will see the status of your AP controllers. A down state means that an AP controller is offline. An up state means that an AP controller is responding and able to be managed. Click on any up AP controller to manage it. To name or rename an AP controller, click Rename. Type in your new name, and then click Valid New Name. If you want to remove an AP controller from the management list, click Remove from List. To assist in troubleshooting, it's possible to remotely reboot any up AP controller on your list. Simply click Reboot. Next up is the endpoint list. Making changes to the endpoint list is similar to making changes to the access points list. If troubleshooting, you can also remotely reboot any up endpoint. Once you click Reboot, you should receive a message like this one at the top of your screen. All changes made on this video, or on your own network, can be seen here in the logs. The settings screen provides relevant configuration information for the AP controller, whether it be DHCP enabled or static IP address. When you are using sync ports to create a contiguous LiFi network, one AP controller must be designated the master. Use this checkbox to make the current AP controller your master. To enable 802.1x authentication, simply click this box and a submenu will pop up. Type in the Radius IP server address, the Radius secret password, the VLAN assigned to guest, and the VLAN for management, and click Save. The controller update screen is where you can update the firmware on your AP controller. Click Browse, find the latest firmware that you've downloaded on your computer, then upload and reboot. Use Account Management to change the default username and password for your AP controller. Congratulations! You just set up your very own LiFi network. Now you can head on over to the terrafermaTV YouTube channel and watch your favorite videos.